Welcome fight fans to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over a common talking point currently in boxing circles, and that question is Shakur Stevenson overrated? Guys, this is a new series I started earlier in the week called Debunked. This is episode 4. If you haven't watched the other 3, do that after this video. We talk about Bud Crawford, Israel Madrimov, and that playlist is tagged in this video. Guys, we know Shakur Stevenson fights this weekend in his hometown, Newark, New Jersey, against Artem Harutyan. Harutyan's currently ranked number 45 in the world at 135 pounds. Shakur Stevenson is ranked number 2. Stevenson's WBC belt will be on the line as he looks to avenge his last fight, which was actually a victory. Avenge is a word used lightheartedly. This guy actually won a fight and got thrashed in the media for it. Now, before we open this up, I am going to cover that fight, that historical Edwin De Los Santos matchup. We're also going to talk about Shakur's accolades over his career, how many championships he's won in what weight division. To get started, I want to talk about another stat that boxing analysts have come up with over the last few weeks. They were computing the statistics of fighters who are the hardest to get hit. And CompuBox came up with statistics for all pro fighters and categorized them in 2 categories: easiest and hardest to get hit. Shakur Stevenson is ranked number 1 as the hardest to land punches on. They also created a scale of the most accurate punchers, and the top 5 statistically are Terrence Crawford, Vasily Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, and Bam Rodriguez. So when we talk about accuracy as a puncher, Shakur is top of the line. When we talk about accuracy as a defensive acumen, meaning not getting hit, Shakur Stevenson is at the top of the line. But in a sport such as boxing, fans want to tune in and watch fighters who are exciting and bring electricity to their promotion. Shakur Stevenson has been lacking such fireworks in his most recent outings, and fans have been letting him know about it. So today we're gonna break down how he became a 3-weight world champion. We're gonna talk about his path and journey, which led him to becoming the number 2 ranked 135-pound fighter in the world. And at the very end, we're gonna beg the question, is Shakur overrated? Or is this something that fans and haters have made up along the way? Guys, way back on October 26, 2019, Shakur Stevenson fought an undefeated fighter named Joet Gonzalez, who was 23-0. Shakur won that fight via UD in the 12th. This was for the vacant WBO World Featherweight title. The scorecards were 119 to 109, 119 to 109, and 119 to 109. This was Shakur Stevenson's first ever world title, and that was at 126 pounds in a dominant whitewash fashion of Gonzalez. He then fought a few more times until he moved up to 130 pounds. And then on October 23rd, 2021, he fought Jamel Herring for Herring's WBO World Super Featherweight title. This was at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. Shakur Stevenson won this fight via knockout in the 10th round, becoming a 2-weight world champion on that night. He then challenged Oscar Valdez to unify for Valdez's WBO championship belt, and that was on April 30th, 2022. Stevenson brought his WBC belt to the line, and Shakur won via UD in the 12th, with the scorecards reading 117 to 110, 118 to 109, 118 to 109. Shakur Stevenson knocked Valdez down in round 6, and going into that fight, Oscar was 30-0. Shakur then challenged Robinson Conceição, but he missed weight. Therefore, the belt was not on the line for Shakur, and he was stripped. But Conceição had the opportunity to become a world champion. Shakur did what Shakur does and dominated the scorecards en route to a UD in the 12th. Conceição was 17-1 going into that fight, and the judges' scorecards read 117 to 109, 118 to 108, 117 to 109. That was his last fight at 130 before he moved up to 35 to take on Shichiro Yoshino. Yoshino was 16-0, and Shakur knocked him out in the 6th round. There were no belts on the line, yet 7 months later, Shakur challenged for the first time at 135 pounds on November 16th, 2023, when he took on Edwin De Los Santos for the vacant WBC World Lightweight title, in which Shakur Stevenson won via unanimous decision in the 12th. De Los Santos coming into the fight was 16-1. The judges' scorecards read 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 116 to 112. So when we think about dominant performances on the scorecards, Shakur became a 3-weight world champion at 26, at 30, and 35 by dominating the scorecards in 2 of the divisions. He did beat Herring by knockout to win the 130-pound strap, and Against De Los Santos, that was only his second time ever fighting at 35. So this weekend, we get to see him for the third time against Artem Harutyan. When we talked about history in the beginning of the video, if you didn't know, Edwin De Los Santos made history on CompuBox the night he fought Shakur Stevenson by landing the fewest amount of punches ever in a 12-round fight. The history books went a little bit like this. In the WBC World Title fight against Shakur, De Los Santos landed 40 punches. Those are the fewest landed punches in a 12-round fight in the 38-year history of CompuBox. To be fair, neither fighter during that fight landed more than double-digit punches in any round, but Shakur won on all the scorecards, and at the end of the day, still now in the history books, it's a victory for Shakur, but his fans and detractors have not let him hear the least of that since that fight. He does have an opportunity to erase all the naysayers this weekend in Newark, New Jersey, but what will the haters say if he does win by an electric knockout? Is Shakur Stevenson overrated? Is it possible in modern boxing to become a 3-weight world champion, stay undefeated, be 27 years old and rank number 2 in the world, and be overrated? I'll answer that question first, and then you guys let me know in the comment section below. Shakur is not overrated. He gets the job done. He has a high boxing acumen and a high fight IQ. His defensive skills are savant-like. And in boxing, guys, it is a game. It's a master class of who is the best with their skill set matched with their opponent. And nobody has brought a wider, vaster skill set against Shakur than Shakur. So is he always the biggest, most powerful knockout guy? No, but that's not boxing. It's called boxing for a reason. It's not called knockouts. So even if you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Shakur Stevenson is overrated?